Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Ticking Together. As always, the goal of this channel is to provide education about and to raise awareness as to what it's like living with Tourette Syndrome. Today, I have my lovely BFFL, best friend for life.
Okay, got you. I got you. Look, I'm not great with acronyms.
Okay, we have this lovely guy here, Willie. He's
That's
been in a
me.
few. He's been in a few of my videos. You guys know and love him. He is
I hope. Or not.
pretty
It doesn't
cool,
matter to me.
pretty heckin' cool. And we are going to do a video today that is very heckin' cool. This is a video I never thought I would be making.
But we're going with it. What are we talking about? You can say the topic.
We're going to be talking about Tourette syndrome in the incarceration system of America.
That wasn't the plan at all!
That was a total joke. We're not doing that. Sorry if you clicked on this video expecting that. That's not what you're getting. Was that a bombshell that you weren't expecting?
That was incredible.
Thank you. Okay,
I got you.
so we are talking about Tourette syndrome and dating.
Excellent. Okay, that's what I was prepared for.
So we're going to talk about it in a
Awesome, sweet deal.
candid sort of manner. Just to preface this,
Do we need to give the usual disclaimers and stuff?
sure,
What were the usual disclaimers?
if we have tics that are vocal and they say mean things, we don't mean them.
That. Uh,
I was going to preface this though with I'm on medication. My tics aren't super bad, so I won't be taking a ton in this video, hopefully. But here and there, I will still be ticking because medication doesn't cure everything.
don't take it like don't always don't always take to heart what ticks may or may not say.
Exactly.
Cool.
This is just involuntary and random and our lives. Okay, so today we are talking about dating with Tourette syndrome. And as many of you guys have speculated now, none of you guys have speculated.
I don't know if anyone speculates.
I mean, someone might have speculated, they just haven't told me, but maybe.
Maybe.
This
Do
lovely
you have fan
dude.
theories?
What?
Do people make fan theories about you?
No! I don't have fans.
Guys, comments, fan theories. Let's go.
As many of you have. What the heck? No one has speculated. Let's just.
No one. Just literally say, hey, we're dating and we're
Thank
gonna
you.
talk about it.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. You got me.
Cool. That's the topic of this video. We're like,
So,
hey, let's give
we
some
are.
insight about dating and Tourette's and the intricacies thereof and the the goings on.
We are two people with Tourette's. Both of us have it.
You're not talking loud enough.
We are
No one can
two
hear you.
people. Okay, we both have Tourette's. We are now dating.
Okay.
And we are going to talk about it.
Sure.
Okay. We're going to start off with a very simple question. We are going to answer the same question on the count of 3. Okay. I will read the question, count down from 3, and we either say yes or no.
Okay.
Here's the question. Did
What are
you
we, what are we
ever?
doing?
I'm reading the question.
Okay. Read it.
I was. Did you ever see yourself dating someone else with Tourette syndrome in your lifetime? 3, 2, 1.
No.
No. No. No.
This has been genuinely the most unexpected experience of that I could even imagine in my life. Like one of my buddies asked me this like years ago, maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago. And my response to him was, one person with Tourette's is already enough. Like it's a doozy. Um, Holy cow. Two people with Tourette's. My thought was like, no, that's impossible. Don't do it. Abort.
My thought was very similar. I was always like, why would anyone want two when you can just have one?
Right, right. It's like it was like who would willingly subject themselves to that experience?
Yeah. And like the fact that people with Tourette's can trigger each other's tics very easily, I was like, why would I subject myself to that? Like, that sounds terrible.
Right, right. Then there's that idea, and you're like, that that could be. What was I saying? There could easily be situations where, like you said, you could just get caught in a loop, and how do you get out? Why would you expose yourself to that?
Don't know, but
You know,
we did.
that has like all of these. So like further on this topic, like that has not been my experience in the least.
My
Um,
experience has been 10 out of 10.
it's really interesting because you can like my brother says this sometimes. I'll be hanging out with him and I'll be ticking for a solid 5 minutes and I'll just be debilitated, just non-responsive. Hey Will, what do you want to do? You want to go out to eat and something will trigger me or something, I don't know, and I'll just be non-responsive for like 5 minutes. And he said this to me. I apologize. I don't know why I apologize, but he said something to the effect of, I kind of get what you're going through, something like that, like something he's meaning to be sympathetic, of course, empathetic. I think whatever one of those words, but really, um, and that's not the case in this relationship.
It's so interesting how you can talk about something that no one really knows about in your personal life usually. You're always like,
Right.
because when I talk to my family, I'm like, oh, I can't get a tick right. And they're like, oh, we know. And I'm like, you don't, but
No,
you actually know what I mean. And you're like, oh, yeah, totally. And then
totally.
it's just, yeah,
When you have those ticks that you, for a while, for um for a while, one of my ticks was just my arm stretching out behind me, but it could never, like it was one of those things that felt like my arm wasn't stretchy enough,
yeah, I
and you're
know.
like, and someone comes up to you, Will, what's going on? Well, let me tell you. Oh, I got that. No, you don't. You don't know.
It's
Um,
interesting. Like, just the fact that someone understands you to a degree that you never thought was possible. You know what I mean? It's just like,
yeah,
I never thought that I would even be friends with someone who had tics in the first place. So I was like, I don't want to be
right,
triggered. I don't want to be like
right,
a sympathy, sad, pity session. Like, I
right.
want to just do my own thing. And then I started my Discord server. I started my Instagram, my YouTube, and I met so many people with Tourette's and tic disorders. And I'm just like, where have you been all my life? So I went a step further and I dated one.
There you go. Um, I think those are all the comments I have on that idea.
Yeah. So, like, I, again, just quickly wrapping that idea up, I genuinely never in a million
Yeah,
years would have thought of this. And I'm really glad that it happened because now I have this like unconditional support.
yeah.
Okay.
It
So I
it
have a
was
few more.
unexpected,
Oh,
but also turned out to be one of the best things in my life. We're
okay.
complimenting each other a lot.
I think you're wonderful.
Thank you.
Okay. So I have a few questions that I'm going to ask both of us. Ask, jeez, ask both of us regarding this topic of relationships with people with Tourette's. And it's
Mhm.
interesting because in our case, we both have Tourette's. So we're answering for people with Tourette's. We can also talk about past relationships or whatever, like whatever we want to talk about. But
we,
we
we both
have,
have
sorry,
we both have experience
with
dating
people without
people
Tourette's.
without Tourette's
Yeah.
and
And
each
with.
other with
So,
Tourette's.
oh, we should, yeah, okay. I have an idea. But
Okay.
I have some questions regarding that, and we're just going to talk about it and let you guys know that if you're out there with tics or Tourette's and you want to date someone, it is not a lost cause. Okay, legit, when I was like 15, 16, I was like, no one's ever going to want me because I tic. I'm serious.
Okay.
Okay, so first question is this question's kind of dumb because we both tic, but it's on the list.
Let's have it.
How does it make you feel when I tic around you, and vice versa? How do I feel when you tic around me?
I think you're adorable. Legit. It's just
Really?
um. So if you guys have, I think in Carly's last video, you mentioned you visited California. We were hanging out for 10 days or something. Um, like one with the people I've interacted with Tourette's, I don't find their tics like not. I mean, I don't find them annoying or disruptive. I mean, maybe disruptive. I mean,
Depends.
yeah. I mean, we know I used to just have something just throw a punch. That's wildly disruptive. Um, but I don't think badly of them. And like in person, um, I think you're wonderful. And it's wonderful. Where I'm trying to suppress hiccups.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's been fun. Um, I don't think you ticked too much when you were here. But the times that I did notice it, um, it's because it's just it's normal to me. It's like okay, you know, the bees buzz, the birds do bird things, and Tourette's ticks.
Yeah.
It doesn't like it doesn't bother me in the least.
Yeah.
Uh,
And same for me. It doesn't bother me at all.
yeah, and so it's like Carly's on medication. I'm not. I am ticking a lot more than she is. So
Hmm.
she has a better understanding of. I mean, she got more of me ticking than I got of her ticking.
Yeah.
So
If I wasn't on this medication, though, it probably would have been a lot different. Um, but my tics are a lot more subdued and subtle. So, um, even the ones that aren't very huge and grandiose, you probably would have noticed because you have that eye. Um, but a lot of people wouldn't have noticed them. So, but I don't mind at all when you tick. I think that you're the best, and it makes me happy that I can relate to you in that way.
yeah, absolutely.
And it doesn't bother me. I know for some people it makes them uncomfortable when they see people ticking, but for me, I'm just like, no, I got you. Like, do you need help? Like, do you want me to do something for you? Can I help you in any way? Like, can I
Right.
support you? How can I support you in this way? Like, do you need me to leave you alone? Would you like me to because for me, I like when people scratch or punch my back. So I'm always like,
That had to happen.
yes. um, so I'm just like, I want to best support you because I know what it's like genuinely
Yeah,
firsthand experience.
yeah. There's no like malicious feelings or anything because like you said
No.
it's we know where the other person's coming from.
Yeah.
We've been in your shoes. You know what I mean?
For
We're
me,
like
when I think about it, it just feels normal. Like it doesn't feel like there's any drawn attention or additional hey, look at me. If we're ticking, or just we can continue to have a conversation while we're ticking because
yeah, of
that's
course.
just our lives, and we don't it's really interesting because I don't see the ticks, I just see you, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. The next question is, what is the number one difference about dating someone with Tourette's as opposed to someone who doesn't have Tourette's, if there is any?
Sense of connection. Um again, it comes back to that thing. Like my brother would say this, oh, I get what you're saying. You don't, and it's not. I'm not saying that with any malice or anything.
It's not like to bash the other person, but they just genuinely don't live it, so they don't know it, you know?
Right, right. Um,
I think that, like, thinking back to when we first started talking, our conversations about tics and Tourette's were like, oh my gosh, where have you been my entire life? Because you just knew everything that I experienced was something you also experienced. And it was like,
right.
it was almost eerie because we just knew
It
the
was
same
kind of freaky.
experiences. Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, you know about that? And you're like, yeah. And then we would talk for hours about different tic symptoms and different things that we both experienced. And I had never had that in my life with anyone else.
Right. I think that's the biggest difference.
Yeah. The biggest difference, like obviously people are people, everyone has their own um bonuses and flaws and things like that. But with someone, if you are two individuals with the same condition that are dating, you are going to have that unconditional support and
Right,
understanding and that
right.
connection, which is so fierce. It's a little bit overwhelming at times.
It's yeah. There's a connection that you don't have to doubt. You don't have to guess. Oh, this person actually gets it when I am just next to non-responsive. And Carly, that happened several times when you were here, correct?
Yeah, a few times.
Yeah. And it
But I just
wasn't,
sat by you and I was like, yeah, like this is what it's like and it doesn't like it's not
yeah,
I don't know. Like if I always assumed that if I was with someone who didn't have Tourette's and I was like that they would be like, oh, freaked out deal breaker type thing, you know? Because
right,
they again don't know
right.
firsthand that experience.
And and to play the other side of the coin, I can easily understand like how someone would be apprehensive dating
Definitely.
someone with threats because it can get overwhelming.
Hmm.
I can easily understand how another person without any disorder might view that relationship as holy crap.
Yeah, it's definitely like not to put us down, but it is a lot to handle at times. And the fact we both experience it and both know we both have different coping strategies, we both have different ways of approaching. um I think that that's really helpful. And again,
Hmm.
like you were saying, if I didn't have this and I was going into a relationship with someone who did have Tourette's, I would kind of be a little bit apprehensive because I wouldn't have that firsthand knowledge as we always talk about, you know? So
Exactly.
having that knowledge is just like so
Right.
beneficial. And people, like, I had never thought that was the thing, you know? I was like,
Right.
why would I even want to
Having
date someone with Tourette's? That's stupid. And then I'm
having
like, but
had
yeah,
having had the firsthand experience, like that's the that's the stuff like you find on like job applications. Hey, we want this much previous experience. Oh wait, I got that, and you show up and you're like, I'm good.
you're
Um,
hired.
I'll take it. It's like having experience with this, and this could apply for anything. Whether you're, I mean, I would imagine I'm not diabetic, but I know people with diabetes, and I imagine it's just being with someone who also shares your what have you. It gives you like you have a level of empathy
Yeah,
that is not found anywhere else. Um,
it's really cool
yeah,
to just be
it's
like, hey, I'm ticking and this is what I'm thinking. And you're like, yeah, I know. And it's like, I
yeah,
don't question when you say I know. I'm like, you obviously do know, you know?
right. And then there's from my perspective when I'm just a wreck and I'm non-responsive, I can know, like I might not have control over my body, but I know my girlfriend is not thinking in her mind, what a piece of shit, you know.
No.
So
Yeah,
there's
it's
that
that.
two-way
Yeah.
empathy there that is just it's great.
I feel like
I,
there's a big weight lifted off my shoulders in regards to worry about like, will this person judge or will this person be fed up eventually, Because it's like
right.
we both have it. So if we're fed up because of it, that's very bad.
That's
Um,
Phew, there's some red flags going up. You know what I mean?
but you know what
Uh,
I mean? Like just having someone who genuinely knows what it's like is just, and like I always thought like um when I talked about my you to my family and how you have Tourette's and how like we were a thing or whatever, I was always worried that people would judge because they're like again how as we mentioned two people with Tourette's, why would you do that? So like
right.
what are your thoughts on that? Like when you tell people like do you tell people, oh yeah, my girlfriend has Tourette's, like how do you cope with that?
I brag about you at work sometimes. And everyone there, like the first thing they see is you see their eyes go, you both have Tourette's. I mean, but then it's like, good on you, dude. Like, you know, um, I've never gotten any like negative reactions. Um, yeah, it's just been that's really it's all like the reactions I've gotten have all been on the lines of what we've said of wow, that must be so cool because you guys have that connection and other things to that effect.
Yeah, it's definitely so cool. Like it's really good. Okay, next question. Um, we kind of already addressed this. Um, why do you think someone would be apprehensive about dating someone with Tourette's
It can get over so
who doesn't have it?
someone who doesn't have it is dating someone who does have Tourette's.
Yes.
So firsthand experience, you don't know, um, and and it's I can understand because there's layers there. I don't know exactly what you're going through. Let's say I'm dating someone who will take diabetes because I brought it up. I don't know. I don't have it like
Yeah, I don't
I
either.
some people in my family are diabetic, and I know some friends who are. Okay.
Hmm.
I don't know what it's like. I don't have the reference of wildly managing your blood sugar. I don't
Mm,
understand it.
me
I
neither.
can read about it. That's it.
Yeah.
Um, but then from the other person, ooh, there goes my chair. We're good. It's fine. um, from the other person, they, I might get the feeling that they know I don't know, and there might be there's only I don't want to bash that at all. Like I'm not meaning to bash anybody, but
I'm not
it's
either.
there. This is coming off odd. We like
Okay, let me rewind. So the question is, why do you think someone would be apprehensive?
why would someone be apprehensive?
And
Because it
I
can be
just think, yeah, it could be overwhelming. But that isn't to say that it's not possible.
right or
It's a hundred
great.
percent possible. You
Yeah,
can be a great support for your partner. We're just saying that there's like you can be top tier support, but we're just like a little bit above because we have that understanding that even if you read every article, if you watch every documentary, you won't have the first-hand experience. But that's not to say that you won't be a great support. It's just this level of understanding is so unlike anything I've experienced.
we're not trying. Yeah, because I got to be careful. Like I I'm not trying to bash anyone. Like I said, that's not my goal.
No.
But like we're just talking about the difference between head knowledge and working knowledge.
I think we're just trying to say too is like the level of understanding is a little bit different. But again, as I said, you can be super supportive too if you don't have Tourette's. This is just something that we're trying to make. Maybe we're trying to make a point here that two people with the same condition can successfully be in a relationship without all the fear of like, oh, this is going to be a disaster.
Sure.
Because coming from us, we both have Tourette's, we're dating, and we have that level of support, which we've talked about. And I think that's something that before this relationship that I was in, I would have really questioned. And I would have been like, can this be successful? Because
Right.
of all of the red flags that it offers with like triggering tics, or that's the main one, really. But you know what I mean? I think this video is just kind of showing that it's possible and it is kind of a nice little added bonus, but not to say like someone without tics isn't going to be a great partner either.
Yeah. That's important to say. Like
Mm-hmm.
people are great people. Like you can find great people who are.
Mm-hmm. This is just about us. Like, we're not talking about your relationship. Like, you could be in the most healthy, amazing, committed relationship with someone with Tourette's and not Tourette's, and they could be great. But we're just talking about our experience because it could maybe help you in the future if you're in our situation and you're like, am I someone with Tourette's going to date someone with Tourette's? This is kind of a real life scenario of two people doing it, and this is just kind of our experience. So, like, we're not trying to be like, hey, this is what you should do or you shouldn't do. This is just our
Right.
story.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this could go for someone who has Tourette's or who doesn't. This is just a general kind of idea. But what would your advice be to someone who is wanting to date someone with Tourette's? Like, not, I want someone with Tourette's
Communicate.
specifically, but just, yeah, okay. Communicate.
Communicate. Talk.
Yeah.
Look. You see that person who does have Tourette's. Talk to them about it. Like, hey, are you in a relationship? Talk about everything. Bring up the really awkward shit that you don't want to talk about. That's really fucking weird. I'm cursing a little bit. Okay. Um, Communicate 100% about literally everything.
That's not even
Uh,
just for Tourette's, that's for every relationship.
exactly. That's just for literally every relationship. Communicate and establish a foundation of communication, because you want to be able to communicate with this person about whatever, but more so, you want them to be able to communicate with you for the times when they might not be able to. If they have Tourette's, communication is not guaranteed. Uh, Me and Carly know that one pretty damn well. It can
Yeah.
get a bit rough.
I wanted to bring up something
Okay.
too with this point is just if you are out there with Tourette's wanting to date someone in regards to communicating, be sure to tell your partner your needs and don't be afraid to talk about your Tourette's with them, because I feel like if you hide it and if you're gonna be with this person for your lifetime, you're not gonna want to suppress your tics around them. So be as real as possible from the beginning,
Exactly. Be
because
real. Be
be
open.
real. Don't be
Communicate.
afraid to talk about your Tourette's in your relationship. I mean,
Right.
we obviously, that's how we started talking, but
Right.
with with you out there, if you're in a relationship or if you're getting into one or if you're like whatever, just be super real and don't be afraid to be vulnerable, because I can promise you, being real from the get-go and saying, hey, these are my tics, and showing them gradually is going to be so much better than being 2 years into your relationship and having to suppress and being in constant discomfort.
Oh gosh, I can't even imagine that.
Me
How
neither.
horrible.
That would be
Um,
terrible. What kind of things do you do to help me with my tics and Tourette's and vice versa?
I have no idea. Genuinely.
That's
Okay,
actually,
here. Guys, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, Carly, can you read that question again, please?
what kinds of things do you do to help me with my tics and Tourette's, or vice
Hmm.
versa?
I maintain being real at all times, and I communicate. That's it.
Yeah.
The rest follows. I don't know. Uh, when Carly was visiting here, she was trying to get the spot on her back, and she couldn't get it, and so I just bam, just whacked it, gave it a good. Okay, that's
It
the
was
one
so
thing.
nice.
That's the one thing I know that I do for her
Mhm.
as far as her Tourette's goes.
Yeah. That's what I
It
was looking
is.
for with this question, to see if you would pick up on that.
Yeah.
So,
Um.
that's what he did for me, and it was so sweet. Um, and for
Oh,
you, again, I think it's just, again, communicate real and just being,
right. Right.
being there and
It's
not being like, not panicking when you're non-responsive, because like that, I know you'll come back. It's just like, okay, give him
right.
time. Um, and it's just a matter of just being super supportive and kind. Being kind goes a long way.
Yeah. That. Um. That's it. I don't look to. I mean. So I'm gonna just. Um. I don't see Tourette's as needing catering at the very least. Like if any catering, I'm gonna get out of your way. Um. Or be like, uh, have we talked about why I have the steel table here? The the table.
I don't know in my videos if we have.
I don't know. Okay, so the reason I have this steel table is because for a long time I needed to be punching steel. Okay, so the only like if Tourette's needs any catering or any assistance, it is get out of the person's way, or in Carly's case, she couldn't reach her back. Okay, assist there. That's it.
I
And
feel like
then,
the solutions are really random.
oh,
There's
let me
not
tell
like
you.
one be all end all solution for tics. It's just like you find something that works and you're like, okay, let's do it. Whether it's a stainless steel table or having someone punch your back. Like, you know,
Exactly. It's,
yeah,
again, communicate. What do you need to help you return to a functional a place where you were mentally and physically functional? Uh,
definitely.
Communicate. Be real.
Final question is now.
Let's go.
Overall, how would you describe your experience dating someone with Tourette's?
I can't. I don't have the words for it.
Good or bad?
Good.
Oh, okay.
Just English words. Like I only speak English, and the words just So I'll say this: Carly and I we have a lot of similar interests, similar beliefs, and Tourette's. Cool. Similar values. So there's a lot more than just Tourette's that play here. But overall, 10 out of 10. Like, oh damn, guys, find you a lady. Uh,
Yeah,
I
I think, sorry.
no, I was just gonna say like I don't know what more to say.
Yeah,
Um,
I think like it has been really great to have that unconditional support. And again, as Willie was saying, we have a lot of similar other points in our lives, not just Tourette's.
mhm,
So that really helps. But
right,
just from the beginning, too, we've had very open communication. And I think that that has been something that I've been lacking in my life. So having that is just
Yeah.
so wonderful. And I feel like they always say like, oh, when you know, but it's like that communication right off the bat, it was like, oh my gosh, this man, dang. Um, and the fact he has Tourette's too is, although I thought initially in my preconceived notion of people dating with Tourette's, I thought, hey, this could be a disaster. It's actually the opposite of a disaster. It's really wonderful. And I'm really genuinely happy. And I love you.
Over.
Thanks. Okay. So that is the end. Those are all my questions. And I just wanted to make this video, as I said a bunch of times, to show you guys that people with Tourette syndrome can be in relationships, whether that's with whoever or with another Tourettian.
What even was that?
Tourettian, I made it up.
Well, yeah, I know you did.
Um, but like it's good, and I hope you guys gained some insight or just got a little bit of entertainment out of this video. Again, this is more of just our story and how it's worked for us. We're never trying to be like relationship gurus, like, hey, this is what you need to do. That's not our situation at all. We're just showing you
I
how it's
mean,
worked for us.
if any advice you take away, be real and communicate. That's
Those are
it.
the two things you need to do, regardless of if you have Tourette's or not. Just communicate, be real, and don't be afraid to just be vulnerable. Even though it's scary, do it.
In the right, safe conditions. Don't just say don't. Don't just say just do it.
Okay, fine. But okay, I mean like be real, communicate, vulnerable, three things. It's trifecta. Do all of it in right
In a
conditions.
relationship, yes.
Thank you. Okay, that is the end.
Okay.
If you've watched
Doodles.
this far, no.
No.
If if you've watched this far, leave a comment with our ship name. Make a ship name for us.
Ship name? Wait, what?
Okay, you know how like when people are in a relationship, they make ship names? Like if you were Tom and you were dating Susie, it could be like Tamuzi.
Are we talking like like uh? uh, Okay, never mind. I went to Starship.
No, like ship, like relationship.
Yeah, I caught that.
So make a ship name, or if you don't want to do that, comment saying, yes.
comment. Leave a comment. Who was your favorite Sith Lord? Yes.
Or don't. Or comment if you think we're great.
Oh, jeez, that's weird. Okay.
Don't do that. Comment your favorite Sith Lord or ship name, or if you're really feeling it, just say like, "Hi, we like you."
Or you don't have to
I
comment at all.
I would
We
like if you commented because it makes me really happy and I read all of them and it makes me like, okay.
okay.
Um, as
Choose.
always, the goal of this channel is to, I already said that. We're just gonna wrap it up with, we are learning together, we are laughing together, and we're taking together. Thank you guys for watching. Oh, also subscribe if you want to stay tuned to
Yeah, do
educational
the
content
socials, guys.
and awareness content about Tourette's, some of our life stories, my life stories. Willie's on the channel often. And click out my
It's been five
things down
times.
here, TikTok and Instagram. Follow me, guys. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Thank you, Willie, for being here.
Sure. Yeah,
Bye.
I got you. Okay. Doodles.